Good evening, YouTube. Welcome back to Paisano's Music and Vinyl Talk. I'm Paisano. Tonight, we're going to talk about the Cars, as promised, from last week's album, Draw. And the 1979 release, a sophomore release, called Candy-O. I Need You So. What a song, what a band. What an album. This came on the heels of their debut, which is arguably one of the finest debuts in rock history. I mean, it reads like a greatest hits. I reviewed it earlier in the channel. Please go back and check it out if you haven't seen it. It was a little while ago. You might have to do a little digging, but it's worth it. This was, not nearly the slam dunk that the first one was, but it's a pretty damn good rock album. Had its share of hits. Not every song was a hit like the first one, but it had more than its share of very, very good songs on here. This was once again produced by Roy Thomas Baker, famous English producer, most notably at this point with his noted for his work with Queen. He produced many Queen albums. He was there for the big ones. All the big Queen albums were produced by Roy Thomas Baker. And he did fine work. This album, I believe, was a better production job than the first one. The first one had, consistently better songs, but this album sounds better. He got the best sound possible out of this group on this album, no doubt. The cover, interesting cover, supposedly based on drummer David Robinson's girlfriend at the time. It's an Alberto Vargas painting, famous artist of the time. He was nice enough to do an album cover for the boys. I got this at Cheap Thrills Records in Dedham, Massachusetts for $5.99. I never owned it before until about, I probably had this for 8 or 10 years, I would say. But for $5.99, seriously, how could you turn that down? The album played beautifully, sounded tremendous. It was a pleasure to listen to from start to finish. Let's talk about subscriptions for a second. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We talk about rock and roll here. And if you've been watching for some time and not yet subscribed and freeloading off of my extensive musical knowledge, shame on you. Shame on you. But it's not too late to make things right. Subscribe. Okay? Hit notifications, all that junk. You'll be notified every time Paisano digs an album out of his collection and tells you all about it. Or at least as much as I know, which may or may not be that much. Let's go over the track listing. Side 1, Let's Go. Great way to start the album. Since I Held You, It's All I Can Do, another big single. Double Life, big single. Shooby-Doo, which is a big synth fest with Rick Ocasek, if you want to call it singing, but in the background. And that bleeds right into Candy-O. Candy-O is probably my favorite Cars song. It's tough to pick a favorite Cars song, I'm telling you. They had so many good ones. But Candy-O is right up there. Great way to close side 1. Side 2, Night Spots. You Can't Hold On Too Long. Lust for Kicks. Got a Lot on My Mind. And Dangerous Type. Another single off the album. The Cars never did that well with singles. Their albums did better than individual songs on the charts, anyways. This album got to number 3 on the Billboard 200, which is pretty damn good. But none of the singles really did that good. But I think they did crack the top 15 with one of these. Maybe Let's Go. Probably Let's Go. But let's take a look at the back cover. Various shots of the band as they appeared in 1979. Let's take a look at the vinyl. Definitely a great pickup. I believe it has a lyric sheet in here. Yeah, it does have a lyric sheet. Those are the lyrics for all the songs. There's a group shot of the band as they appeared in 1979. Tremendous group. And I tell you, I don't know if I mentioned this in the Cars, when I reviewed the debut album there, but Elliot Easton. Let's talk about Elliot Easton for a second. He's the guitarist for the Cars. And I have never once seen his name in a list of good guitarists, never mind great guitarist. But Elliot Easton was fantastic, and he was really suited for the Cars and their post-punk new wave version of rock and roll. I love Elliot Easton's guitar playing. Fantastic. And they got a great drum sound for David Robinson on this album. The whole band is just great. Rick Ocasek, Greg Hawkes, Ben Orr. What a band. What a band. Can't say enough about them. All right, YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Join me on Monday night for another album draw. We'll break out the Pittsburgh Pirates hat, which just happens to be right here. We'll shake it up. Little Cars reference there from a later album. Shake it up. And we're going to draw another album out of my collection. And I'm going to tell you all about it next weekend. All right, until Monday night, YouTube. Thank you and good night.